My name is Tanya Bychkovska and I'm currently getting my master's degree at Ohio University. I'm studying linguistics, but at the same time I'm teaching academic writing.
So why do you think technology is needed to teach languages? What motivates you as a teacher to use technology in your classroom?
I think technology is very important because it really changes the dynamic in the classroom. So, for example, the students who are maybe too shy or who are not really confident about their questions, their answers, they can voice their opinions and not really be afraid of doing that. So technology in this case kind of mitigates those effects. And also, students feel pretty competitive if you choose some specific tools, and it makes them really want to participate and be engaged in the class.
What kind of technology tools have you used when you're in a learning or in a teaching experience?
So I'm teaching academic writing and I use technology in the classroom maybe for the assessment purposes. So for example, I can use such tools as Kahoot or Google Forms or maybe Nearpod, and they allow me to check students' understanding right away. So those tools are different to some extent, but at the same time they all allow me to ask students some questions and using their technology, so maybe their smartphones or tablets or laptops, they will answer those questions online, and we as a group can pull them out on the board or on the screen, and we'll have an opportunity to discuss those answers. So this is a very nice way to kind of elicit the responses and at the same time discuss them and co-construct knowledge with the students, because it really changes the dynamic. Instead of me just staying there and lecturing, students can construct knowledge with me.
You mentioned that you use Kahoot in the classroom, so can you explain that a little better? What is it?
Yeah, so this is a very useful tool that allows teachers to create some quizzes, and then students using their technology can take those quizzes in the real time during the class. So after they answer some specific question, it can be a multiple choice question or an open-ended question, those answers appear on the screen that the teacher shows to the students, and after that there is a possibility to see who answered those questions first, who answered that correctly or incorrectly, so students get really engaged and competitive in that game.
What technological tools have worked best for you as a teacher?
So as a teacher and a student myself, I think that the online proofreading tool, PaperRater, is very useful. So I'm interested in academic writing and I want my students to be able to write very good academic papers. That's why I always introduce them to PaperRater. So this is the tool that allows you to copy your finished paper and paste it online. And then after the analysis, this tool will let you know which are the places maybe where you have some grammatical mistakes, or maybe where your word choice doesn't really fit. It also gives information about your sentence length and word count, so all the important things that are very crucial for academic writing. So I use that myself and I always recommend my students to use that, because before turning their papers in, they really have something to help them with their style. So I would use that and let my students do that as well.
So you said that you're a master's student here, and one of the requirements is to take a course on teaching language using technology. So what kind of project did you guys develop for this course?
So my group developed a very interesting project, how technology can be used to document the experience outside of the classroom. So we're in the United States, and some students unfortunately don't really take advantage of going outside and interacting with people or businesses. So we actually kind of pushed our students to go and talk to different businesses. For example, They would go to a clothing store, they would interact with the salesperson, and at the same time they will document that experience with using Snapchat. So basically they will take a video or a picture, and then they can send that to their classmates and the teacher to show that they really went there and interacted with the businesses. Another technology that we were using was augmented reality. So this is very similar to Pokemon Go, but this time it has some educational purposes. So teachers could create their auras, and when students find those locations on their smartphones and use their smartphones, they could see maybe some videos or some texts connected to that specific location. So what we did, we went to the grocery store and we installed different auras around the store so that students could really learn about the shopping culture in the United States. Also, we created some conversions from pounds to kilograms so that students could really benefit from that experience. Finally, students could discuss their experience of going outside and using technology and interacting with businesses by leaving some digital recordings. So we were using the storytelling tool that was called a voice thread. Basically, students participate in the discussion, but instead of typing their answers, that they would record their voices. So this is a very nice way to practice their pronunciation and speaking skills.
What do you think are the disadvantages of using technology in the classroom? Have you come across any problems?
Yeah, so I think one of the disadvantages is that you really have to take time out of your class and teach your students how to use that specific technology. So it will depend on your specific student population. It can take more or less time, but you definitely have to take the time and train your students. Another disadvantage is that technology, of course, tends to break. Sometimes there are problems with the internet connection or with the server or with the gadget itself, so you really should be prepared for that. And first you have to have a backup plan what to do in the situation if something doesn't work, and also you have to troubleshoot it beforehand. That happened a couple of times to me when the technology didn't work and I felt very, very stressed. So it's important to have some backup plan for that.
So where do you work on campus? What kind of jobs do you have?
So I'm currently working as the assistant coordinator of the writing lab, and for my tutors, the ones who I'm supervising, I have some professional development modules. So we are using the online platform Moodle to create the modules that the tutors could fill out and learn so that they are more ready when the tutees come and work with them. At the same time, we have the online tutoring, so we are using the specific platform so that our tutors could tutor people who don't really come to the writing lab. So let's imagine that a tutee is sick, or maybe it's too late and they don't want to come exactly to the writing lab. They can make an online appointment, and the session would be absolutely the same as face-to-face. So they would copy their paper, paste in the screen, and then tutors can also see those papers. And they can make some changes online, and the tutee would see what has been changed. So there is also a video and audio, so it's the same experience as you go to the writing lab, but online.
So what advice can you give to future teachers when they want to use technology in the classroom?
I would greatly encourage them to use the technology because, as I have mentioned, it really changes the dynamic of the classroom. Students become very involved and interested in the class. And since we're using technology every day, this experience will not be brand new, but it will bring their the students' previous experience and combine that with learning. So I think that is very exciting.